thanks for watching. And just a quick reminder that there is a new Merkabah Academy sale involving the flash drive as well as all the digital downloads. This sale will end on Sunday. A lot of you guys have been asking about the sale. Will it involve, the whole year with free downloads as well as the lifetime membership? This sale will not, but we have a few more spots open that we will let people in starting actually today. So if you want to get the Merkabah Academy membership as well as all the digital downloads for the year, the flash drive, and membership for life, we are taking in about 100 more spots, which will put us at 1,000 and will end at 1,000. So anybody who wants to take advantage of that will have a chance to do so up until those 100 spots are filled, and that'll be the end of it. But regular membership, you can get in right now and at this price. The price will go up after this sale ends. We're getting close to that time, so I'm trying to get as much people on board as possible. And things are looking well. If you guys are still waiting for flash drives, they are on the way. Thanks for your patience and support. And let's get into this video. And I told you guys, we would see this. We would see this in a lot of different ways with a lot of Christians and religious people starting to bring consciousness into Christianity. And again, once you start to decipher the Bible, this is what you're going to find. You're just going to find it. You're going to see it. The problem is, a lot of these Christians, they don't read the Bible. So they're not understanding that them meditating, hearing Christians talk about meditation and consciousness and energy and everything like that, and the Bible speaks against it. So, there is religious, spirituality as well as conscious spirituality. A lot of people won't like to mix religion with, spirituality, and any real conscious person understanding two can't go together. But religious people will, say they're spiritual people. Conscious people will say, we're all about spirituality. We're spiritual. Now, with religion and spirituality, you're only really confined to the religious, spirituality. You can't really pull in consciousness, because consciousness is being able to perceive what the religion is actually talking about and break it down and decipher it, which obviously, if you call yourself a Christian, you have not done so. So seeing so many, Christians start to come into the understanding of consciousness and meditation and everything like that is definitely something that is pissing a lot of conscious people off, because it's like, okay, well, if you're getting into this, then how are you not leaving the Jesus thing alone? And this is what you just have to do, if you're calling yourself a conscious person. It can't go hand in hand. Now, you can call yourself conscious and understand that you are, studying the Bible, and you understand that the parables of Jesus and everything like that, what he's talking about, is something that you need to look into. But you can't then go on with the understanding that, he's real and he actually existed and Moses existed and all this stuff is real that the Bible was talking about. And this is what's happening with a lot of Christians who's coming into consciousness and spirituality and trying to break it down and understand what it's all about, which is one of the reasons why, I put out the video to try to bridge that gap and get people to understand, what Jesus is really talking about, and that he's telling you, a million times in the book that, you are him. Now, when you read Deuteronomy 18:9-12, it says, when you come into the land that the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not learn to follow the abominable practices of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone who burns his son or his daughter as an offering, anyone who practices divination, or tells fortunes, or interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or a charmer, or a medium, or a necromancer, or one who inquires of the dead. For whoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord, and because of these abominations, the Lord your God is driving them out before you. So what is divination? Divination, the practice of seeking knowledge of the future or the unknown by supernatural means. Now, it's the same thing when you look at a charmer or a necromancer or a person who's considered a magician. These people are psychics. Psychics, plain and simple. We know psychics use astrology. They use the stars and everything like that to predict astrological symbols and things that happen astrologically for them to operate. So Leviticus 19:31 says, do not turn to mediums or necromancers, Do not seek them out. And so make yourselves unclean by them. I am the Lord your God. What's a medium? A medium is a psychic. And psychics, as I said, use these things. So when you want to get into true consciousness and spirituality, it involves astrology. It involves understanding the universe and understanding what's out there for you to really get into true consciousness. So you can't, on one hand, be considering yourself a Christian, practicing Christianity, and then say you're conscious and you meditate and you're taking in all of this conscious energy. It goes against the religion itself. So there's no such thing as a conscious Christian. You got to stop that movement before it gets, any kind of steam. There's a lot of people who's trying to embark on this whole thing and call themselves a conscious Christians, trying to, fit in with the conscious crowd and say that they're conscious and they understand what's going on, but still want to hold on to their Jesus. And you can't do both. You can't do both. Understanding, true spirituality is understanding true energy and what you really are in essence. And that's understanding that it's you, and exactly what the Bible is telling you, that look to yourself, which yourself will be you. Look inside yourself, your energy, and understand what that really is, to understand what, Christ's consciousness was all about, and that what your consciousness is all about is one and the same. And having that understanding is understanding that, one, there's not going to be Jesus or God or somebody that's coming to make things happen for you. Understand that energy that you have, that consciousness, is something that you control, and you have to manifest what you want in life, and you are going to be the one who's going to take control of your physical self to do what you need to do to accomplish what you want. Praying and begging and all that stuff is not going to get you anywhere you want to be, and it's something that's not conscious. That's something that you're using outside of yourself. One is trying to give you the understanding that you need to look within. Many times in the Bible, Jesus tells you to go in, look within yourself. You are a God. Didn't I say that you were gods? So on and so forth. It's all you, and that's what you have to get from the book. And by you not really reading and understanding what it's saying, accepting it, face value as if, this is all a true story and it's real. If you're smart enough to understand that there are things in the book that is given to you on a conscious level that's spiritual, that's, esoteric, then you're smart enough to understand that it's a parable. Jesus himself is a parable, and the stories are parables about things that have to do with energy, tracing back to ancient Kemet, where, they got the stuff from. So it's a lot more you got to dig into, a lot more you got to look at to really grasp what this stuff is about. And it has really nothing to do with, you being a Christian. That's just something that someone, created to get you to come on board to the religion. And you're attached to that. That's not you. Religion is allowing something outside of you, to control your energy. Now you have to abide by these laws and rules of your doctrine and religion in order for you to seek or to find or be in, true spirituality. That's not the freedom that conscious spirituality gives you. It allows you to understand, one, everything has to do with yourself. You got to look within yourself, know thyself, so on and so forth. Only you can be the one to get you to where you need to be. And as long as you understand that and follow that, you'll change the way you think about the Bible and everything else. You'll start to break down what this stuff really is talking about and where it's really pointing you to. So now when we look at, religious spirituality as it pertains to the Christian, it's this: the Holy Ghost, jumping around, acting crazy, saying that you believe in something outside of yourself, that's, Christ and he's coming back. That's the spirituality. Having this fake congregation of people who lie about who they are, saying that they do things that they do not do, saying that they are this and that, when everybody's in there are frauds. So when they leave the church, they become who they really are, and they only go to church because of fear, hope, guilt, or what have you. This is the spirituality. This is who you surround yourself by when you go into these churches. A preacher who's lying about him talking to the Holy Spirit and talking to God. A choir who was basically hyping you up and creating this energy within you that manifests into these so-called Holy Ghosts that people believe is God touching them. It's madness. This is not true conscious spirituality. Conscious spirituality is understanding that all this stuff is bullshit, that is bogus, and what it really is, that the church is the front. The preacher is there to make money. So while you may have people in there that believe, you have people who pour their heart out in church, and people that, they go there and they really expect to feel something and be a part of something, and it's not real. People walk right back out to church and face true stuff, real problems and issues that they've been going through for a long time, and because they're not getting that true message, nothing is happening. And they put themselves in those shoes as far as saying, it's me. I'm going against the book. I'm not being the Christian I should be. And by me keep going and me keep, giving money to the church, something is bound to happen. And then you have those who basically do what they need to do and get where they want to be at, and they give all the praise and glory to the church and to God when it's really them. And on the other hand, when you have, conscious spirituality, conscious people who understand what's going on, one, we automatically seeking knowledge, exactly what the book is telling you. We automatically looking within ourselves, exactly what the book is telling you. We automatically breaking down, this world and what's happening in this view, and seeing that it's a facade and it's something that's going on that's outside of us, that's basically put there to hinder us from reaching where we really should go, which same thing the book is telling you. Conscious spirituality is completely different. It's what you need to be understanding outside of that Bible, where you really want to be headed to basically get where you want to be at. So you have these Christians who are truly trying to seek spirituality, and they know that the Bible is not what they think it is. The fact that they are combining the two and trying to get spirituality out of it tells you that they're seeking something else, but they're too afraid to let go of the book. So the fact that you have that feeling, you should explore that more and keep digging and looking, instead of trying to combine two things that shouldn't be combined. Now, I understand there's a lot of people who are confused by, a lot of stuff that's going on. Like the whole conscious movement has been blowing up and being, it's really big now. You have a lot of people who are taking in a lot of information, a lot of people who want to know what's going on. A lot of people want to hear, the Hebrew doctrine, they go that way. A lot of people who just, doing a lot of conversion and no research. A lot of people who are hearing things and just switching instead of looking into exactly what's being said. But I want to answer a few questions. First one says here, Merkabah, Jesus was giving us a parable against what our pastors teach us. How come they don't know about it? They have all been teaching the same for a long time. They can't all be wrong. Now, one of the things people don't look at when you just compare, you've been to multiple churches. Some people like one pastor because he's more animated. Some like another pastor because he knows how to give like a really good sermon. But for the most part, these preachers, they put together a doctrine. They put together, a sermon. And sermon's going to be about particular verses or particular topic that they picked. Now, what you got to understand is these priests and preachers or what have you go to seminary. They go to school to learn how to teach the Bible. That should tell you something right there. It's a book to be read front to back. You started off with Genesis, you end in Revelations, and you should be teaching the congregation Genesis to Revelation. A lot of people have been going to the same church since they was a little kid, and they have never heard the entire book. They have never heard so many verses that the book is talking about that really pertains to their life, which is why a lot of people are doing things against the Bible and not knowing about it because they haven't read the book or they haven't been taught certain things that they should have been taught. And, a lot of people leave it to the preacher to tell them things about the Bible that, is going to pertain to their daily life. I shouldn't be doing this, I should be doing that, or what have you. And that's not being done because they themselves have not been taught correctly. They have been told, go in the book, pick out a sermon or whatever you feel like you want to teach about that day, and they preach on that and use certain verses throughout the book to support what they're trying to teach. Nobody goes straight from Genesis to Revelation. If they did so, as I said, you would not be a Christian because a lot of things in that book they don't want you to hear about women. As I talked about, when you read these verses, you can see clearly a lot of women will walk out of the church if they heard these verses. So it's so many things that you got to pick up on. Moses and them basically pedophiles and taking little women, children, and doing whatever, killing babies and infants. A lot of people would disagree with that, so they tiptoe around these verses. So you have to look at that in context and say, well, damn, you can understand why they, even if they if they wanted to, if they went into the book, they probably wouldn't teach the parables or what Jesus is trying to really convey to you, because one, they don't really understand it themselves, or two, they don't want to confuse anybody and have them question in the faith. It's something that they were taught in seminary as well. So for the most part, a lot of these guys just don't know.